I'm Michael Jai White, actor, martial artist, and former fighter. I'm going to be taking you on an exciting journey where we find South Africa's last fighter standing. One fighter will emerge victorious in this battle. With a grand prize of 1 million rand, there's a lot at stake. Every week, we will bring you round after round of exclusive fights where we watch warriors battle it out en route to the finals. Who will conquer? Who will rule? Who will become the last fighter standing? South Africa, you called, I answered, I heard it, and now I've seen it. And I'm coming to find the last fighter standing.
One of the rules that got Michael excited is the 20-second ground and pound rule. It makes the ground game shorter, but a lot more intense. It also promotes more stand-up fighting, leading to thrilling fights and spectacular knockouts.
I'm still in LA, but Naomi and the team are deep in the action in Durban, searching for the last fighter standing.
I'm standing with the chairman of MASA. Mario, how are you?
Good, and you?
Are you sure you're good?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you ready for today?
Absolutely. If you look at, they can't see the weather, but the weather's great. Fighters are hyped. Everybody's on par, on point. It's going to be a fantastic day with God's grace.
Well, fill our viewers in. What exactly will you be doing today? Because I know it's big fights. A lot of fighters are coming to show exactly what they're about.
Well, I'm the chairperson for the MASA Pro Commission. MASA is Martial Arts South Africa. It's a regulatory body. I'm here to make sure that everything is done properly. Regulations are about.
That's right, with rules and regulations and stipulations, LFS is the premier fighting championship to watch. First fight here in Durban is between Keegan Roots and Thuli Mthembu.
Feeling good, I'm great, I'm in good condition, and I'm fit enough for everyone to stand on my way.
You're going to see a lot of action from here.
First fight, people still streaming in here at Durban Gravel Racecourse. Thuli Mthembu, the 37-year-old, up against the youngster Keegan Roots, 25, mixed martial arts background for him, and Mthembu with that karate background. Who will it be? His fight record, 16, 14 of those won, but very interestingly, no knockouts. So he does his fighting by submission. Mthembu on the other side, a 50% win record. Wanting to make their way into the final. Referees called them to the middle of the ring. He hears from the judges that they're ready, the fighters are ready, and he says, gentlemen, it's all yours. Trying to take possession of the middle of the ring. It is immediately Roots those long legs. He's known as Daddy Long Legs for a reason. Trying the very low kick at first. Who's going to get in there first? A long sweeping left, which misses the mark. Again, the low kick. Still feeling each other out. Interesting move, but none of that was to any effect whatsoever. That one did hit. Both trying to hit the leg, lower leg, and make sure that they get in there if there is anyone who goes down. So it is the man who loves the anaconda move this time. Keegan Roots on top of his man. That's the full mount. Remember, it's the ground and pound rule. There's only 20 seconds for this. If it's effective, you can keep going. At this stage, it is looking effective from Roots. Sticking that elbow in his face. Mthembu's taking some strain here now. Trying to make space for himself to let the punches go, but not quite able to do that yet. The referee says that's enough of that, lads. Let's step back. That's the nice thing about LFS. There's lots of action. You're not allowed to lie around and sweat on top of each other. The crowd paid their money, and good money, to see good fighting. Still looking for that one little gap. Virtually at the end of the first 2 minutes of the first round. Daddy Longlegs took 1 or 2 punches there. Thuli Mthembu certainly not holding back, and that is very impressive. Now, what can Mthembu, the 37-year-old, do with that scenario? It's the end of the first round. Couldn't do much with it at all. Both fighters getting instructions in the corner, all vital. Were they able to get the help that they need from the men who saw it from the outside? Round number 2. Mthembu comes out first. A little roundhouse kick there. That is tried again, going for the lower leg. Just trying to get that opening. Whatever it may be, it all counts. Every single bit of energy that you pour in. That's a very hard knee to the midriff. That looked like it had its effect. Ground and pound, you hear the side saying 16 seconds, so they watch that 20-second rule, and this is frightening by Roots. He's got his man, he got his way through there, and quite clearly, there's no way that Mthembu could have got it back from that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 punches that landed, and the man virtually out on the ground. A big win for Keegan Roots, that 25-year-old mixed martial arts specialist.
What move did you pull that made you...
For ground and pounding and put knee on belly and started punching till I was out and dazed and won the round.
Wow, that was a great fight. Last Fighter Standing is the only platform where fighters of various disciplines can meet up and face off. For instance, our next gripping duel sees Eastern Muay Thai philosophy go up against Zulu stick fighting prowess.
Martial arts of the world. Stick fighting is a martial art traditionally practiced by teenage herd boys in South Africa. Each combatant is armed with an attacking long stick and a defending stick or shield. Blows are aimed at the head and knees. As soon as blood flows, the duel is over and a winner appointed.
My name is Mhlengi. I am a mixed martial art fighter. I started to fight when I was a small kid. One of my hobbies is Zulu stick fighting. I enjoy it, I like it, and it's also helped me on my training. One of my strengths is I go there in the ring and just give my opponent a knockout. I'm a modern day Zulu warrior.
My name is Henry Madini. I'm a Muay Thai champion. I've been practicing and studying Muay Thai since a very early age. I've trained in Thailand and I've come across the best fighters of the world. I've got a Thai nickname, Yendam. That means black stone. But Muay Thai is actually art of 8 limbs. Everybody just beware of the knee of Yendam, the black stone.
He's issued the warning, you'd better watch out, and if your name is Mhlengi Afrikaner, then even more so. A very interesting situation here. The veteran, 41 years old, 177 fights. The Muay Thai fighter up against the man with the MMA experience. Mhlengi Afrikaner, just the 3 fights. He has a lot of work to do here. It is the Rock up against the Black Stone. That's the man on the left-hand side of your picture, 41 years old, a legend in the MMA circles, gym owner, and he knows all the skills, and he's probably invented a few as well. Referee calls them to the middle, wants them to keep it clean and neat. He's going to give them their commands. He wants them to listen, is what he's telling them. They step back, ready for the first of 120 seconds. What has Madini got in store? Up on the toes already, very quick. That's typical of Muay Thai fighting. Afrikaner just a little weary. Very early trying to get that knee to work. He warned us. There it is again. Boy, does he only get height on that. He gets it right in underneath the short rib there, and that could be very, very telling. The seats in Durban getting fuller. People are packing the stadium here at Greyville. Again, that knee, left and right. Unbelievable how much height he does get on that. A chopping right, which didn't quite hit. There was a glancing blow there. Now that left certainly got in there. And again, the big weapon, the knee. Referee says, hold on there. You can't hold on to the shorts. That is not allowed. Madini not giving his man any room to maneuver. He's trying to get in there close and then give himself a little bit of space and real estate to unleash. Feeling things out. Looking for the gap. Afrikaner trying to get himself out of trouble by lifting that left leg. And in turn, giving himself some space. And Madini certainly not unwary of the man. He's not going to walk into any sort of silly trap. He's got him in a spot of bother, but he wriggled out. And there, that was the one. A huge kick right there where it mattered most. Madini knows he got his man. Here's the count.
4, 5, 6.
He's hurting his Afrikaner. There's no way he's going to get up from this. Madini's going to be celebrating. Let's look at it again. A massive left right there on the button, and his man's down. When Henry Madini kicks you, you don't get up. Another win for the Blackstone.
How do you feel after you win?
I'm feeling great, I must say. Like I said before, I've got nothing against my opponents. I'm all about my business.
It is business, the next business. Another Durban welterweight prelim between George Maphumulo and Fani Prinsloo. The winner of this fight will go through to the welterweight final later on tonight. The tail of the tape, George Maphumulo, 21 years old, up against the bad boy of the sport, Fani Prinsloo, the gym owner from Witbank. And again, huge amounts of aggro there. You could tell that they both mean business. This is George, who takes on the Viper on the other side of the ring.
This fighter weighs in at 76.95 kilograms.
Very close in weight, and that fight record will tell you that he's just starting off in the sport, but he knows his way around it. There's no doubt about that. He is a specialist. He's got one or two moves that you don't want to see in a dark alley. George Maphumulo, though, with his 5 fights, 3 wins on the opposite side of the ring. Prinsloo gets lots of time to ply his trade in his gym that he owns in Witbank. They come out for the first 120 seconds, immediately trying the lower leg, trying to take his man out and get him down there so that he can perform his magic. Still trying to feel each other out early on. Immediately Prinsloo, very quick off the mark. You can tell that he is extremely quick. So Prinsloo, oh, there's a very interesting move, the double leg takedown. He's got his man exactly where he wanted him. You see that, he stepped back, and now there's elbow to that right ear. He's going to have to call it. The referee steps in. Prinsloo really, really aggressive down there. Didn't let his man get any space to try and get away. Prinsloo steps in one more time. Is the referee ready to call this or not? Prinsloo is ready to go. Referee says, step back there, son. Are you good? He wants to know from Maphumulo. He says he is, but you have to question this decision. Prinsloo has smelt blood, and you've heard it in the interview. When he gets in this point, there is no way that he's going to let up. Big uppercuts. Leg also goes in. Can Maphumulo get himself out of trouble here? One doubts that very much. Oh, a huge uppercut again, and that is the one. That landed right there where it matters most. Prinsloo knows it. When you throw a punch like that and it hits, you know you've hit your man. Maphumulo is still down. Look at this as it comes back at us in slow-mo. Oh boy, that is right there where it hurts and matters most. And then he's right there to clean it up as well. Nice sportsmanship though, but Maphumulo is hurting. I would imagine that this was the beginning of the end, that double leg takedown, and from there it was all one-way traffic, and the traffic was leading to Witbank. Prinsloo with a very impressive performance, and that means that he gets himself into the welterweight final here in Durban. He flexes for the crowd, and why not?
Viper, you brought it. You brought it.
I told you. I told you all. I'm not here to take over. I own this show.
I want to ask you something quickly. Your tattoos, do they stand for anything? Do they symbolize anything?
Tribute to my father. The rest, all him.
The rest is all in you, Viper.
I am impressed. The South African talent seems to be endless. Keep in mind, a lot of these fighters have fought like 3 times before meeting each other in the finals, just like Keegan Ruiz and Fani Prinsloo. Let's get to know them better.
I'm Keegan Rhodes, and I'm a kickboxer, and people say I'm very good at this business. My fighting nickname is Daddy Longlegs.
And that is for a reason. He uses those daddy long legs very well, not just for front kicks and that reach, but to make sure that he gives himself some space and tries to unleash at just the right time. On top of it all, Roots is a busy man in the ring.
If you don't train hard, you're not going to win all your fights the way you want to. My most powerful weapon is not necessarily my hands and my legs, but it's my brain. I'm a thinking man's fighter.
And thinking is what it's all about in this game. You've got to try and look for the gap and react at exactly the same time. Roots has all of that in his makeup and a lot more.
My biggest achievement out has been selected for the South African team to represent South Africa in Las Vegas. I don't stop, I never quit.
And one would imagine in this game, that is the most important feature of all. Never, ever to give up.
I'm a potential LFS champion because I train hard, I adapt to all fighting styles, so whatever you throw at me, I'll take it.
My name is Fani Prinsloo. I'm an MMA fighter, disciplined out of Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. My nickname is the Viper.
And the Viper strikes when he wants to, how he wants to. His road to the final was very much illuminated by that beautiful move. His opponent here had no chance, and that was the beginning of the end.
Been fortunate to represent South Africa in Las Vegas twice. This isn't ballet.
Well, I wouldn't have liked to have seen Prinsloo do the plie in any case.
I've had some injury, broken ribs, busted fingers, and the list just goes on. We are MMA fighters. I've been a bad boy ever since I was born.
And I can imagine standing on the other side of the ring against bad boy Prinsloo would not be a pleasant experience.
During the fight, if I tag you, I smell the blood, the beast does come up. The Viper will conquer you.
It's last fighter standing, fight time back here in Durban. It's the welterweight final, and it's between Fani Prinsloo and Keegan Roots, Daddy Longlegs, up against the Viper. Here's what the fans had to say.
It's an awesome night tonight. There's a vibe that goes on. It's unbelievable. And to be at the Gravel Racecourse.
So who are you rooting for? I know it's been very intense.
Well, Keegan's a bluff boy, and yeah, I'm ready for Keegan.
Yeah, well, it's quite exciting, eh?
It's totally different. The way it's all set up, it's brilliant.
Prinsloo looking determined, looking rather scary. His opponent on the other side of the ring is a taller, thinner man. And if you had to go on build and looks alone, well, that would tell you another story. But this game is not exactly built on looks. Prinsloo, 33 years old. Keegan Roots, 25. Both of them come out of the same fight style, with the MMA fight style, as the announcer brings them in.
It's scheduled for 5 2-minute bouts.
The final, the welterweight final, the big one. And Keegan Roots, Daddy Longlegs. Those 16 fights of his, will it be enough to conquer the Viper on the other side of the ring? If you'll pardon the pun, he has his roots in Durban, so quite clearly he is the favorite here. And on the other side, Fani Prinsloo, the gym owner from Witbank. He's very impressive in the prelim rounds. Can he recreate that kind of form?
4 wins and 5 losses. Fighting out of Dakota Olympus, this is Fani the Viper Prinsloo.
Now the referee will command the middle of the ring for just about the only time of the night, if all goes according to plan. And Roots perhaps just looking a little more apprehensive. There's the shake, and now all the action. 5 rounds of 2 minutes each. The referee gets the signal from the judges and the ringside personnel. Prinsloo immediately in there, trying the low kick. And Daddy Longlegs does what he does best, but that is a punch that he overcommitted. Could have got himself into trouble very early on. It's It's Roots who closes down the space of the ring just a little. Prinsloo has now taken control of the middle again. Those sweeping kicks at the bottom, just trying to get a knee or two in. Both of the fighters looking for that space. Roots is just not able to do it quite as of yet. Looking for the guillotine move. That didn't quite work. Prinsloo wriggled his way out of that. And then the Anaconda. Well, would you ever? Roots has got his man in that Anaconda grip of his favorite. He's got him, he's holding him, and there it is. Prinsloo's called it. Can you believe it? A matter of just a few seconds, and Keegan Roots got his man into some serious distress, and the submission came. Roots is the winner. There's that move, that Anaconda move. Remember, he told us that's what he'd like to do if he can. Prinsloo had tried with that huge upper body strength of his to get out. He could not. So Roots the winner in Durban, and he qualifies for the grand final in Johannesburg. And to top it all, you think the Durban crowd is happy? You bet. Next, we'll see the heavyweights fighting in Durban, then we're off to Cape Town, Johannesburg, Pretoria, and the grand final back in Johannesburg at the end of the year.
Well, injury from the first fight. God caught me in a submission. I couldn't turn around because I didn't have power to escape from it. So good luck to you.
Viper is known to be like a hectic guy, a really good fighter. How does it feel to know that you knocked him out in 30 seconds?
Feels really good. Just tells me that all my hard work paid off, and I'm glad that I won it, and I'm really excited and I'm hoping to win the 200,000 in Joburg.
Now that was truly amazing. I was really impressed by the technique. To be honest with you, I cannot wait till I get down to South Africa so I can see the action for myself. Until then, I want you to keep track of this amazing journey on television and online as we find South Africa's last fighter standing. And I will be joining you personally for the Johannesburg and Pretoria fights. See you then.